Hey guys, it's Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now, I did a video comment in patch 6.0 where I basically broke down the math of the new Iron Twins Fortress, Hydra rewards, the silver coin acquisition and essences and such forth. And a couple of people have messaged me to kind of say, can you highlight this issue again? Can you mention it again? It kind of got mixed into the patch notes because it is quite a problem. And I kind of agree with what they're saying, but I wanted to wait until everyone stopped getting sort of free rewards. Everyone now should, if they've been doing it, have completed all the different tiers of the Iron Twins. They should no longer be getting any sort of daily login rewards. We'll only be getting dribs and drabs through events. We get a realistic scenario of how many soul stones are we actually going to be acquiring in a regular pace. And what most of the community seems to be telling me so far is it's not enough, that the rewards are worth nothing for them and they're not getting enough out of this new dungeon. So obviously we've got the Altar of Souls here. What I want to do in this video is kind of revisit the math, look at what we're actually getting, and then actually put some constructive feedback back to Plarium to kind of say, how can we fix this problem? But keep in mind with what you want to do, which is obviously not make this an instant win strategy for many people. So in the Altar of Souls, we know the way it works now. You go to the Mystic Market, you earn your silver coins from the Iron Twins, you exchange that then for Soulstone, you summon the Soulstone, and if you get lucky like I did, you get a High Awakened champion. If you don't, you end up in something like this, where you get lots of 1 and 2 stars for champions you don't need. And you can obviously sell these for some value. And to be honest, the selling is actually quite good. If I look at my 5 stars, I got a couple of rares here. I could get 26 of these tier 3 coins here. And that's actually quite a lot to get when you consider the conversion rate between getting enough soul stones to get the next tier and so forth. So they're not too bad as a sell rate. You know, my Taurus here is going to give me 24. Obviously, the rarer I get, the better. If you have, I think, a 6-star perfect legendary, you can basically completely sell it for an entire eternal soulstone. So there are options available in selling, which is good. But the problem is this raw acquisition of silver coins, the raw acquisition of even the essences are so bad that people have stopped farming the Iron Twins because they are just going to do their Hydra and not waste the energy. So in this next section, I just want to quickly revisit the math that we had in the previous one to look at the comparison between Hydra, Iron Twins, the average daily haul, and look at some of the sort of the reward counts. So if you've seen this screen here in my previous videos, it's pretty much the same math. I haven't changed it recently. It kind of gives us a breakdown of what's the average amount of silver coins we're going to get from the twins, the essences, and a bunch of other different places. And we also look at Hydra rewards here to kind of give us an idea of how many soul stones are we going to get. And obviously the original purpose of this was to kind of determine the length of time it would take to farm for a tier 3 eternal soulstone. And I don't want to look at that as a context. What I want to look at here is, for the amount of energy we're acquiring, are we getting enough rewards back to make it worth farming the Iron Twins, and is it going to work or not? So the key thing to note here is obviously we had some one-time rewards, and they did significantly make the system feel more alive. We got tier 2 soulstones for finishing stage 15. We got like some essences from freebie rewards. We got that initial starter pack. We got the daily starter pack, and we also got a bunch of gold coins and silver coins here. So the first kind of like week or two, I expected it to be really, this system is great, because Plarium want you to feel like this system is a great addition to the game. And it is. It is a good addition to the game. It's fun to summon souls. We've now fallen back into, we're in farm mode. There's no more free stuff. There's no more daily login packs unless you want to buy them for an obscene amount of money. There is no more of these extra injection of soul stones into the system, and we're now on a farm of basically around 1 soulstone a day from Iron Twins. Obviously, if you're on a void, you get a lot more. I chose to use 150 extra gems to get that void to stage 15 and get the extra bonus rewards. That netted me about 4 soulstones instead of just the 1. Just because you get twice the amount of rewards there. The other big problem we're getting is essences. The price to get an essence is obscene. I'm going to pull up a screenshot now just to show you what I had experienced. I've got a 5-star Cantra, so obviously the Mystic Market can give me a 6-star split Cantra. Look at the price of this. 300, not tier 1 essence, but tier 2. Now obviously we're early in the system. That's fine. I'm not saying I should be able to buy this right now. But if we look at the way we acquire gold essence, I either have to exchange around about 15,000 of the tier 3 currency, and keeping in mind, we've already determined to get enough tokens just to buy one of those tier 3 Eternal Soulstones, which is about 1,000 of that tier 3 currency, that takes us about a year or two. So to get enough for 15,000, exchanging 300 is going to be near enough impossible. So they want me to farm it from twins. But the twins' essences are not at a high enough rate that I'm ever going to get enough to make that even realistic. We are talking that could take me several years of farming to get enough currency together just to get that. Then I have to wait for it to re-rotate back around in my shop. It's not achievable. It's not a number that makes sense in the current way that we can acquire this currency. So that's like a problem already, that basically these currencies that we're not getting enough of it. Let's have a look at the actual numbers here. We're going to get about 863 silver coins on average from a stage 15 non-void affinity. It goes up to about 1,726 on void. Void, you get double the odds. Logically, I can see why, because they're saying void is only happening once a week. But realistically, that doesn't make any sense, because you're just saying that on Sunday, we all get twice the amount of silver coins. So that basically means on average, per month, you're going to be getting basically 6 of these 863s and then 1 of these sort of void packs here at 1,726. That's assuming you don't buy the keys with gems for 150 gems. That's a lot of gems to be investing to get basically silver coins. It basically works at around about 27,626 silver coins, which on average is about 1 tier 1 soulstone a day. And it's not very fun to go, oh, I've got 1 pop. Now, if we look at how much energy that is, each run takes 20 energy. If you're successful and you don't fail, we're going to say that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 120 energy a day. So this silver coin translates into, if we think 120 energy a day, 28 days in a month, for example, around about 3,360 energy to basically get those silver coins. And if we did the obvious math here and we were like, okay, well, let's just divide that between that. What's the energy? We're going to get about 8 silver coins per energy. Now, that's not great to start with. Taking 3,000 energy a month out of people's accounts, that's a whole set of masteries for a champion. That is potentially an event they could do in terms of dragon that they can't do anymore. And they are getting soulstones, which I think are very important. You can't ignore this system. Blessings are very powerful and very important for your team. Obviously, if you're not pushing high numbers or high arena or these sorts of things, it doesn't matter. But you can see the impact if you've seen my spotlight on my seer, if you've seen other blessing spotlights, brimstone. When I do Soul Reap, you'll see how valuable these blessings are. Now, the biggest issue with the Iron Twins isn't just the silver coin rate. It's the fact that you can basically just get essence. The essences are not in addition. They're on the side. They're alternative. So there's a 12% chance instead of silver coins, you get essence. And you just don't get enough of it. I've worked out the percentages here based on the roll odds and different things. And I'm looking at this going, monthly, you're going to get around about 54 tier 3 essence. So if you think about the Cantra, that was 300. 50 times 300 is what, 6 to 7 months worth of grinding. And now this isn't exactly perfect math because it's based on the percentages on an average, right? And because of the way it works, you're either going to get silver coins or this. Whatever you gain monthly here, you lose. It's a bit funky. So I don't expect it to be around about 54. These numbers alone aren't too terrible. But I'll tell you now, I don't think I've got this many so far in a week. I feel like I've got maybe 5 of this, half that number in a week. So I think it'll just depend. For me, these essences should be a bonus chance on top. If it should be, you always get silver coins, and then there's a 50-50, you get additional essences, and then you have those individual roll odds in that table for the quantities. It shouldn't be either or, because you're ended up in the situation where you end up losing the silver coins, and now you can't get enough silver coins to buy a soulstone, which means everything just takes longer. And ultimately, the soulstone is what we care about here. Let's look at Hydra. So if you do a normal and hard top chest, remembering that Hydra itself costs 0 energy, just your time and willpower, for a better word. If you do normal and hard top chest and you kill both bosses, so you get double rewards, you're going to walk away with around about 20,800 silver coins if you convert the soul stones that you get into 20,000 into silver coins. Now, we've just determined that basically on a month, if we farm 3,360 energies worth of silver coins from the Iron Twins, we're getting 27. So you're already seeing I can save myself 3,300 coins and just do Hydra, which is the mentality I think many players are going to hold right now. Why bother farming this and spending my energy when I can just do Hydra, take a day, really hate it for a day and get it all done. Now, if you are more progressive in Hydra and you move up to sort of 3 difficulties and you do normal, hard, and brutal, you're now getting more than the boss dedicated for this currency in Hydra. You're getting roughly 32,800 silver coins if you translate those Soulstones back into their original currency. I did this, I think, this week. I did the top 3 chests and I walked away with 9 Soulstones. And if you remember, I said we would get around about 7 a week because you get 1 a day. So I'm getting more Soulstones from Hydra than I am from the dungeon boss dedicated for this new content. If we go even higher and we go to hard, brutal, and nightmare, you're up to 39,200. Again, killing the bot, but all the heads, so you get the double chest. So that's almost not far from being near sort of 80% more from this than you would get from Iron Twins. So yeah, you could say, oh, well, it's additional content. You need to do them both together. That's fine, but the primary location should be rewarding you more than the secondary locations, in my opinion. And that is where the issue comes. So what is the problem here that we've got? So the first problem we got here, the Iron Twins doesn't give us enough rewards. So how do we fix this? Simple. The void rates become the daily rates. We don't have any special rates for the void rates. We just have the same ones as we do in void every day consistently. So that's step 1. Step 2, these essences become in addition, not alternative to the silver coins. So I would get always my silver coins, and then I get a 50-50 chance that I'm going to get an essence. And then you set those roll tables based on how rare you want it. Obviously the tier 2 essences should be rarer than the tier 1. So that helps you work towards your mystic market, so you feel like this area is relevant to you, because the cost of getting anything as an upgrade beyond a 1-star is so high. Like you see here, I've got 17 of that tier 3 essence so far since this has come out. It's just so low. I mean, even just trying to get 12 of these is impossible for me because I don't have enough gold coins to be able to trade that in. And it's actually a terrible exchange rate. The next thing we do is we offer a tier 2 Soulstone as a weekly reward. Now, this can be in the form of an advanced quest. Maybe we put a new weekly quest here. These rewards are already pretty trash. Like, I'll be honest, 200 account XP for something that I don't have because I'm at level 100 and 25,000 silver coins. I'm going to spend that just upgrading 1 piece to 8. It's so pointless. Let's replace one of these, give you a tier 2 Soulstone. Or if they're too concerned that tier 2 is not equal to an ancient shard, put it in a monthly. I get a void shard in a monthly, give me a monthly reward for a tier 2. I then think every player deserves a right, in my opinion, to have a tier 3 Soulstone every month. You still have a really low chance of getting a 6-star perfect stall from this. The odds aren't crazy, you know, it's still a 20% chance you're going to get a legendary, and then a 20% chance it's going to be a 6-star on top of that. So it doesn't work out like crazy odds, but once a month, considering all the champions we have in the game, every player should get 1 Eternal Soulstone, and that can be simply, if we go to the shop, add a new object here, tier 3 Eternal Soulstone, every month. It's not a problem. Another thing I think they should add is maybe make a new clan shop item and sell some tier 2 Soulstones in here for clan gold. Maybe even a tier 3 at the highest rank for like 3,000 clan gold. Make it expensive. It's worth doing because you need to inject more ways to get souls because it's starting to feel really slow and boring. Potentially, and I think this is a great idea to freshen it up, in Tag Team Arena we have a bazaar that basically we only buy the accessories, the void shard maybe, it's not a very good exchange rate, and the energy and the ancient shard. Well, let's put in some tier 1 Soulstones for 1,000 gold bars that I can only buy 5 a week. Just inject more currency, make it worth a reason for me to farm these gold bars, especially in the bronze tier, give people more chance. We need to basically increase the amount of currency being injected into the system. Otherwise, people are going to forget and get bored with the system. Yes, I know there's a problem that you could basically outrun and outgrow the system within 6 months. But if you don't do this now, people are going to get bored. They're not going to do the Iron Twins because it's not worth it. So if I was implementing this system, I would make every rate around the same averages of 1726. I would inject an extra 5,000 silver coins by giving people 5 tier 1 Soulstones in their tag team arena for 5,000 gold bars, 1,000 each. That would bring us to 70,000 silver coins rather than 27,000 silver coins acquired from basically the Iron Twins. I would then throw a tier 2 in the monthly. I would throw a tier 2 in the clan shop to give people some chance at boosted odds. And then I would look at basically throwing some tier 2 and tier 3 rewards in the top Nightmare. Now, if the plan is to release Ultra Nightmare Hydra, that's fine. Let's leave Nightmare as a chance to get a 20% chance to get 1 tier 2 instead of a 20% chance to get 3 tier 1s. I think that, for the difficulty and the level of complexity, it shouldn't be just tier 1s coming out of Hydra. I think if we do that, we then have a healthier ecosystem. If we look at the time taken, it means we're going to get on average about 2 tier 2 soulstones a day. If we consider the average silver coin over a week, we'll end up with around about 68 soulstones a month on a tier 1. That's much healthier, because then what we end up, we add in Hydra on top, you're up to about 107, 110. And then we're looking in terms of how many years would it take me to still get a tier 1? Well, it's still going to take me a year and a half. I'm not factoring in any selling here, but at least we're in a position where a tier 3 Eternal Soulstone is within reach to some extent, and the system feels more like, hey, I'm getting more souls, I'm getting more chances, because I'll be honest, 97% of the tier 1 Soulstones is going to be a 1 to 3 star. So how are we ever going to get to the awakened states of 5 to 6, which are really important for some blessings if we don't improve this? So there you go, guys. That is my take on the current state of blessings, awakening, souls, Iron Twins, Hydra. I think it's a good system. It's fun. I enjoy summoning souls. I've got very lucky on my souls, to be honest, compared to other players. So my shard luck may be terrible. My soul luck is pretty good, but it's starting to stagnate already. It feels like, you open up, you do your twins if you really care about it. You get 1 soul stone and it's a tier 1 rare. You sell it and you move on for the day. It doesn't feel very engaging or fun or exciting like shard pulling should be, soul pulling should be. If we just increase the amount of rewards, make it a little bit quicker, give us more ways to get some of these champions, people can have more fun with the game. That is the point of it. Hopefully this goes across to player and they think, do you know what, he's right, we need to maybe give it a little bit more of a jig, but I don't know. They're pretty set in their ways. If anything, it'll be pushed into content that we don't like playing, like Hydra more. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, where you think that should be improved. Are you still doing the Iron Twins, or have you given up like I think many players may have already? Especially if you haven't got a Geomancer, it's really difficult. Let me know if you have any other ideas to improve the system as well. Anything that you think should be implemented. Hopefully we can get a bit of noise behind it and we can get Plarium to sort of pick up the odds and get us back into summoning more souls, because it was quite fun in the first 2 weeks to see what people got. If you are new to the channel, please give our channel a subscribe if you've enjoyed the content. Many of you who watch these videos aren't actually subscribed to our channel, and it would be really good to help us continue to grow the channel and bring this content to you every day. If you're an existing subscriber, thanks for coming back, and I hope you enjoyed the video. We do put out daily videos now to the best of my ability. September's a bit of a tricky month for me this month, but with that said, I will catch you in the next video.